Hello,
I
everyone. I'm still so tickled how we got thrown out of our own show because our back end team doing up and we never talking. So
but
guys,
no,
if
this
you're
today we are back
better,
full force.
that's why we
Today we are
started
back full force.
our chat before the 1 o'clock. And our back end team actually came out 2-3 times to tell, okay, it's time to leave, it's time to leave, it's time to leave. We have to get started, and we never heed the advice, and we got thrown out so that we can start the show. Anyway, welcome back to HR Intervention Season 3, Episode 6. Well, we're back for the sixth
Six.
episode. Yeah, so fast, kan? We're back for the sixth
Yeah, so fast
episode.
time pass.
Exactly. And we hope, well, we are very excited to be here, and we're really hoping that you are too, like we are. And I can't believe it. What now is September coming to an end already? We're close to the end of the
Yeah,
year. A bit too fast lah. Why
exactly.
can't why can't time
A bit
slow
too
down?
fast,
Like
huh?
I think because we are all busy working. Like I was talking to a client the other day. She said, Shireen, I'm working 8-day week today. I was like, for a moment I paused there. I was like, huh? What? Say that again? 8-day week, but there's 7 days in a week. So a bit of a delay telecast lah, So today we have a very fitted topic called performance management, the key to success. And of course, as always, we have an amazing speaker to join us and share so much of, like I told her, golden nuggets. And we have Wani joining us. Hello, Wani. I'm definitely
Hi,
so excited.
Ronnie.
Yeah, I'm definitely so excited to bring her in. But before that, Ajit, can you explain a little bit about our show, especially to, I'm sure we have a lot of new people coming in today. Yeah, Ajit, you
It's my honor, Shireen. Yes. Yeah, suddenly my headphones are dropping out, oh my God. Okay, I'm honored, Shireen, to explain about the show. Anyway, guys, this is HR Intervents. We are commonly known as hashtag HRTV online talk show brought to you by Compass Mind Asia, a well-known corporate training providers. In this show, we will talk to all HR experts about anything pertaining to HR development. And what we do is we invite HR experts and we pick on them and we get to know what are their best practices. And we also allow people to ask questions during this session. If you have missed out any of our sessions, you can always go on to Shireen's YouTube channel, Shireen Kelly, and you can see the ticket appearing at the bottom here. We have done marvelous other episodes such as management, multi-generation workforce, burnout among employees, and many more other topics. So those who have missed out, you can always go to the website and view the sessions here.
Yeah, but
And
only go there after the show. And we have
yeah, not
Audrey
now.
joining us. Hi, Audrey.
Audrey
Wow,
is here saying hello. Hi, Audrey.
today my view is very interesting. I see three Audreys on my chat box, so I have to read carefully today. So please back me up if I'm saying things double because I'm looking at things double today. So yes, like Ajit says, go and check out our previous episodes and seasons after this show. I mean, there is so much of great stuff in there that you can actually use as your library for knowledge also. Anyway, if you're still confused whether this show is for you, this show is actually for everybody, whether you are working, not working, looking for a job, or you're executive, non-exec, manager, director, C-suite, whatever. And especially if you are HR and L&D from the L&D department, then definitely this show is meant for you. And we just had Cheng Neo join us. Hi, Shireen and Ajit. Hi, Cheng Neo. And as
Hi.
always, we'd love to know who's watching. You see, like Cheng Neo, where are you signing in from? Because we've had audience from where? Ajit, Malaysia, Dubai, Australia,
India, Dubai, even
India.
Africa. We had people coming in from Africa.
Correct. Only because they told us where they are
Yes.
from that we know. So, comment away. Where are you joining us from? And let's have an interactive session because then we can actually say hi to you too. And if it's your first time here, please also drop us a hello. Anyway, I say hello. Say hello back lah. All right. Anyway, nobody want to say hello already. They all say hello already. Okay, never mind. Maybe they are a bit shy today, So, and let us know who you are, where you're from, because then we can connect further with
Where you're from.
also what they're having for lunch, right?
Okay,
Ajit?
and
Yeah.
before we dive any further, what you had for lunch, where you are, what you're doing, and if you have any topic which we're going to chat in a while and we're going to talk a little bit more about it, please feel free to drop in your questions. We would try our level best to address as many questions as we can as we go along. Okay, and before we go on, my name is Koljit. I'm a HR practitioner in Malaysia. I've managed a few jobs before, so that's a little bit about me. And with me, I have Shireen. You want to introduce yourself, Shireen?
Yes, I'm
Shireen Kelly
Shireen,
is our managing director.
Compass Mind Asia.
And
And we want to welcome all of you to HR Intervention Season 3, Episode 6.
episode 6. Welcome. Welcome again, everybody. First, comment down below where you're from, who you are, and say hello to us at least. We can reply back. We have got me and Shireen today, this afternoon. So before we move on to a serious note, let's talk a little bit different. Shireen, can you share with me if you have watched any new movie recently? Shireen?
First, I want to deviate that question by
The long
saying
pause is I know the long pause is because you have not been watching any movies.
Number one, you are right. Number two, also I'm shy a little bit because I'm a rotten romantic. All right.
Oh,
And number
okay.
three, and number three, the last movie I went for at the cinema is Barbie. And I almost walked out of there, but when I heard the kind of the rating that they have in the movie in Hollywood, they're actually second, one below Marvel, if I'm not mistaken. And Marvel shows are like madness. And when they said that they are on the next list of Marvel shows, I was like, really? I almost walked out of the Barbie show halfway. It's a hit, and then my colleague comes and tells me,
It's not.
my colleague comes and
It's not
tells
meant
me,
for you.
she said, I love the show. I almost cried in the show. I'm like, but which part made you cry? I think she's probably laughing on the back end because she knows who she is. She said, "Loving memories of my mom doing things for me." I'm like, I can't relate. Please help me out here. And anyone who asks me about Barbie show, I say, don't go and watch. But I think I was being a bit.
Oh, I never. I just stayed away from it. Yeah, I just stayed away from it.
I think I dragged my son.
I watched the Shah Rukh Khan movie.
How was it?
But Shireen, why didn't you watch the Shah Rukh Khan movie? That's like fantastic. It was so awesome. The movie.
You never invited
The
me.
songs and Deepika Padukone was so gorgeous. Okay. My apologies. Next round, I'm definitely inviting you. And popcorn on you.
Pour popcorn on me. Okay, fine. We should have a fight there.
Yes.
Popcorn fight, not pillow fight. So anyway, we have Theo trying to make us hungry by saying he's having ayam penyet. Well, Theo, I like careful because Koljit soon will be having 5-star hotel food because he already tempted me with his 5-star food.
My lucky day.
Yeah, you get so much of it. Anyways, let's move on. We can't wait to bring in, our guest is also waiting for us, and she has so much to share. So I really can't wait to bring in our guest for today. I think it's about time, isn't it, Kojit?
Yes, I think it's
Yeah.
about time. Let's bring our guest on.
All right. Let me introduce a little bit about her. Her name is Sau Wai. Sau Wai. Sau
Why?
Wai is very passionate about driving HR strategies that increases effectiveness, transforms culture, promotes collaboration, and develops high-performing leaders from the organizations. Over the last 15 years, she has held HR positions in Escort and Ritz-Carlton. Luckily, there wasn't what was the other one? Oh my god, I will not be able to pronounce it. Ritz-Carlton with experience spanning culture, cluster HR management, and a full spectrum of HR functions such as training and development. She has been recognized in the hospitality industry, such an expert there, for her experience and expertise. Sau Wai is dedicated to creating a culture of high performance and continuous learning that will build the company's human capital, capabilities, and talent pipeline to meet immediate and long-term business objective. She is definitely an asset to her current organization, and she has an amazing boss who threw her into the show today, which I'm so grateful for. So let's please help me give out your hearts and thumbs up and welcome Sau Wai together with me.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. How are you, Sau Wai?
Hi.
Great. How are you today?
Thank you
Pretty
for being with
good.
us, Sau Wai. It's good, fantastic.
Hello,
Anyway,
everyone.
we definitely would. Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, you can hear us. Are you okay? You good?
Yes, good.
Had your lunch, Sau Wai?
Not
Had your
yet.
lunch? Not
Not yet.
yet. Oh my God. Never mind. Right after 2
Meal,
o'clock, you can
that
have your
you're
lunch.
My team outside is having a big fun. They have celebrations. Yeah, I asked them keep some food for me.
Oh, keep some food for you.
cake for you
Okay.
also.
Okay. Okay, Sau Wai, fantastic. So we're now having a party. So can you share something about yourself with us? Preferably not what Sherin had mentioned, something different, something about probably like your hobbies or any thriving facts about yourself. You want to share with us?
Can? So I think you all know I'm currently working at UA Hospitality as a director of HR. Of course, beside work, right? My hobby is cooking.
Oh,
I
okay.
like to
We know where to visit the next round.
Oh, nice.
Of course, I
So
only
what do you cook? What?
cook during weekend because normal weekday, right, busy. But I have a master chef at home as well. My husband, good, very good in cooking. So I'm
Oh,
very
okay,
Okay.
marvelous.
lucky.
Give us your address after this.
Mm,
We'll be visiting you over the
Sure,
weekend.
sure.
Sure,
Later we
sure.
mm,
separately.
Okay.
okay,
Set.
fantastic.
Only
Okay,
cooking. Anything else? Any special hobbies that you have?
Listening music, yeah. So no human resources stress, right? Sometimes in a workplace, go back need to listen some soft music to release tensions.
That's a good one. And do you love
mhm.
exercising or trekking or anything like that?
Exercise slowly on weekend. KPI to achieve now gain weight, right? So I have KPI also, not only in the workplace, yeah, my personal goal as well, yeah, reduce
Wow.
weight
Very
KPI.
targeted. Got goal or not? You got write your goal, how much to achieve by what date, and all your smart goal written or not?
Not really.
But I'm trying
I know,
to
I know. Sawai looks so uncomfortable because she only likes to ask about sport, the running, jogging, workout. Not everybody does it. Okay, Shireen.
I encourage everybody to do it.
Like it's very easy. Want to follow, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes yes.
But Sau Wai,
Correct.
I
Correct.
find it very difficult in your life because you have a master chef in your house. I wish I was staying in your house. I want to eat all the good food.
Yes, how to reduce weight like that, right?
Oh, exactly. When the food is so good, it's like food first lah. Exercise we think later.
We always have an excuse.
But
Mm, mm. The excuse is
but
called
Sau Wai,
food
you
lah.
cannot have excuse because you have
Mm.
Sau Wai, you cannot have an excuse because you have a gym in your organization. They just created a
Yes,
gym for you, so you should go and use the gym.
yes.
I managed to see their gym, Shireen. It was so marvelous. It was so big. The OA had a have a gym for the employees. Can you imagine? It's so great,
So
man.
nice. Go vacancy. I want to apply.
No
Yep.
need. Come enjoy us.
Eat at home.
Yeah.
Eat
Eat
at
at
home.
home.
Come to work and work out.
Come to work. Gym at
Come to work
UAA
and work out.
Academy.
Work out.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the best
Thank you.
best plan.
I
Okay.
asked my client to
Okay.
grant you that.
Fantastic.
Yay. All
thanks.
right.
Thanks.
So now
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing.
let's.
Okay,
Mm.
let's move on. Let's move on, Shireen. Can we move on to the topic today? Today we're talking about performance management. I'm sure our guests are all very eagerly waiting to ask and to post some questions to Sau Wai. Before that, performance management is a systematic approach that is used by organization to optimize employees' performance with aligning to strategic goal. It involves setting clear and measurable goals and also monitoring and also providing regular feedback to employees. But why is this? Why do all this? Okay, well, this process really helps enhance employee productivity, development, and also overall organization success by ensuring that individual and teams' effort are synergized towards company's objective. That's ultimately the purpose of having performance management in an organization. Okay, before we move on, I'm sure audience would have a lot of questions pertaining this wonderful topic. So please feel free to post your questions as we go along. Today we can't wait to get this going and to start Sau Wai, to ask Sau Wai how are they managing it in UOA. Okay, let's move on with the first question. Shireen?
Yes. Are you ready, Sau Wai?
Yes.
Right. I promise it's a very simple question, but I can guarantee you that our guests will have a lot of other questions because I have had quite a few people who message me and say we're looking forward to this. So yeah, bring on your questions along the way. But my first question is, can you explain further to our audiences? So what is performance management and why is it so essential?
Okay. I think performance management is a systematic process that involves setting your objective, yeah, monitoring your feedback, of course, to optimize employee performance itself. Okay, it's crucial that right is leading the high efficiencies for to achieve our company and individual goals. Yeah, so that's why it's very important.
Hmm. Okay, that's very brief and right to the point. That's cool. Thank you so much, Sawai. Ajit, you have a next question?
Yes. Okay, Sau Wai, you ready? Next question.
Yes.
How, how does performance management contribute to achieving business goals?
Sawai, everything
Yes.
okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, good. Okay.
All good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So by setting a
Yeah.
clear targets objective, so every employee will have a clear directions what we need to achieve. So everyone will be in the same page. Yeah. So it's not one person is just follow one directions, but everyone will have a directions to follow. Yeah. So everyone will be in line on that. Okay. Of
Mhm.
course, regular feedbacks, yeah, is very important to monitor the process is ongoing. Yep. Of course, we have a few key ways, yeah, for performance appraiser, like aligning the objective itself. How we align? Like, it's help everyone, right, to achieve the goal. So everyone will go to same page. Okay.
Mm.
So to enhance productivity, okay, regular monitor the feedback with communications. If let's say how to say, once we have set the targets, right? So
Mm.
everyone will communicate.
Okay.
Yeah. So the opportunity is there for employee and the manager itself to communicate rather than they just keep quiet and sit. They just silent on that. So everyone follow the same. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's right. That's right.
Optimize the resources so manager can identify, right, what resources they need to use to achieve the target.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's well said. Very well said. What Sawi said was
Right.
right. We want to align the synergy of the organization. Or it always starts from the top. The top will actually come up with business goals, business direction, and then it will be cascaded all the way down. So everybody will be carrying the same objectives, and everybody will be doing doing work to achieve those objectives. So you find it going in more detail and breaking down. That's what Sawi have actually explained here. Thank you, Sawi.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you,
Let's move.
Sawe. And Ajit, you also summarized it into a very, very nice way. So thank you for that too. So I've got another question for Sawai. Can you explain the concept of KPI in performance management?
Yeah. KPI we are called key performance indicator. I think a lot of company they know that when they want to set their KPI, normally they will use SMART goal, like SMART. What is SMART? S is what? When we set the goals, we must be specific. What is that? Yeah. We don't set certain things like we just mentions only. We must have specific. Yeah. So for example, like a salesperson, what's their specific goals?
Achieve targets?
Achieve targets, achieve revenue, right? So this is a specific goal that they need to achieve. Then of course, M, measurable. Their goals must be able to measure. For example, just now we talked about revenue. What's amount we need to achieve?
Mm.
Cannot be we just simply say that it's only 100,000 or whatever. Yeah. Or maybe the amount is easy to achieve. We're not able to. So we need something like amount to or something we can measure on that so that we can achieve. A. What is A?
Achievable.
Achievable, something we can achieve. Not only that, we set something, but we're not able to achieve.
Yeah.
Correct? Or maybe bosses set for us the KPI. I want how many millions or whatever. But we need to think whether this amount we're able to achieve or not.
Mm.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
If let's
agreed.
say far away we're not able to achieve, then is we need then we need to communicate with the manager. This target maybe not. Yeah. So we need to communicate importance. And then R. What
Realistic.
is R? Realistic.
Yeah.
Relevance. Yeah.
Yes.
Must be relevant.
Relevant.
Yes. And then of course T. Time bound. We
Time
we
bound.
must have
Yeah.
a timeline on that. We just cannot say that we want to achieve certain end of the year. But maybe certain goals we maybe like quarterly review, maybe is or maybe third quarter we need to specific what's the deadline when we want to achieve our target is. Maybe some
Mm.
target is monthly,
Yeah.
yeah, or quarterly
Mm.
or
Mm.
yearly itself. So
So when
normally
you
we use this,
continue.
smart goal to how to say, to list down what is that, so easier for us to when we want to set our KPI.
Okay. So meaning to say when you're using the SMART goal, you will have goals for monthly, quarterly, and yearly. Correct? You straight away set all at the one time.
I give you example. For example, HR. What's our KPI
Mm.
normally? Maybe we do staff
Hiring.
engagements. Staff
Mm-hmm.
engagements. Is it yearly? How many engagements we need to do for our staff? Maybe 20 is our target. But by this 20 activity, right? So we need how long we need to complete. So quarterly maybe is like 5 activity quarterly in order for us to achieve 20 per year. So we must have the deadline on that. If not, if let's say the employee not clear on that, so it's very hard. So until year end, but not even one activity done. So last quarter, then how we going to chase, right? How we going to do the
Then
activity?
don't achieve KPI already.
Yes, not achieved already.
Then no bonus for
Mm.
next year.
No, but
Actually, that brings back my thought about someone who sent me this snippet the other day.
mm,
The question was, uh, ha- how do you feel have your performance been for the past year? This is a salesperson's answer. The person answered, not great, because we didn't get a bonus last year. So
Oh, really?
what? Yeah. I was I was like, whoa,
Mm.
because it was a snippet someone sent me. You know, we do a lot of trading, right? How the other question is, how do you think you can improve? What do you think you can improve to increase your performance for this year?
More
To
bonus.
get a increase.
no bonus.
I thought it was okay. I got it in the morning, and I was like, really, it was just too funny in the morning. I had a good laugh. So yeah, I totally understand. Goals are so important because then it translates into your KPI. Okay, so before we continue with the next question, we have a question for our audience. So, audiences, I hope you guys are ready. I'm actually looking down because my phone is on LinkedIn there, and I'm looking at how many people are signed in. So, whether you all are ready, what are some common challenges you have had in implementing performance management systems? So, share in the comment below and put in as many questions as you have, because Sau Wai will be very happy to answer any amount of questions that you have, anything that's you're not clear about, because she's the expert in this area. We have a question from
We have a
Justin.
question.
Yeah, how do
Justina.
you ensure there is no favoritism when managers doing assessment for their team members, especially at a larger organization? How, Sau Wai? Very good question.
Yes, very good questions.
Hmm.
Of course, when we set the KPI, we must have transparent sometimes, especially for the team member itself. Yeah, because some KPI is not only just for individual, but it's a team member itself. Yeah, unless it's really specific positions, then maybe we need to do separately. But of course, you can foresee maybe have some favoritism, but how actually the leaders handle it, yeah, transparent.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Justina, I hope that
maybe I
helps
can
you.
maybe I can add
Mm.
on. I can add on. Giving an example, say like how Sau Wai mentioned earlier, we have a KPI of say 20 engagements that we need to do per year. So we to avoid favoritism, we make sure that the KPI is broke down into small pieces, the small bits, either by monthly. So if you got 12 months, you divide 20, so you do on average 1 or 2 engagements in on on a monthly basis. So once you have this type of detail presentation or detail breakdown for performance management, whatever that you want to go down, you need to go as detailed as possible. Your smart must be really smart. What time, by when, blah blah blah. You need to spell out. That will be able to actually stop any favoritism or anything. Why? Because the employee is not empowered. They know what they need to do. If they deliver that, then you cannot say that they never perform. So that would be one way of how we could avoid favoritism, if you were to ask me. So setting at the beginning, organizing it at the beginning, and becoming as detailed as possible at the beginning is the first key to avoid any favoritism. Secondly, the way to avoid favoritism is continuous feedback. You need to continuously talk about it. You need to continuously tell people that this is how have you been doing. If I keep telling Sau Wai that you're doing a good job, Sau Wai, doing a good job, so I cannot apply favoritism at the very end. When it comes to December, I cannot say that you didn't do a good job because I've been drumming that you've done a good job. And likewise, if I keep telling you didn't do a good job, you did a bad job. You know why? Because you never achieved your targets. You didn't do your engagements. And then when it comes to year end, it's very clear that you did not meet your targets. I think it's two ways. One is being very detailed in your KPI, like what Sau Wai has shown, the smart. And then number two is like what Sau Wai also have mentioned, provide the feedback continuously. I think, Sherin, that would be two additional points that we could.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
hope,
adding
Justina,
that.
we did some justice to your question. Yeah.
That's right. Bring on more questions. We love more questions.
Yes. Let's
So
move on to Sau Wai. Next question. What are some of the common pitfalls in performance management, and how can they be avoided?
Yep. Some common pitfall is like you have an unclear objective or unclear goals. Yeah. So
Good.
people not
Correct.
understand at all. Yep. So that's
Agree.
why the smart SMART is very important. And then of course
Agree.
provide regular feedbacks. Yeah. And of course management is to approve individual needs itself. Yeah.
wow.
So
Okay.
Very well said.
so yeah.
So it
Yeah.
goes back to the
So
smart. The more detailed you become, you can manage it better, so you can avoid the pitfall. You're right. You're very, very well
And
said.
the regular feedbacks.
yeah, because
Yes.
Yeah.
always
And
a lot of people, right? They don't have a clear goals. Yeah. So the employee actually don't know what they're supposed to do. They just do their normal work, but company objective or what's the bosses want, they actually unclear. Maybe just very simple. Then they just use their own way to think. Yeah. And then no communications as well. And the manager feedback. But whatever they done not well, whatever, they get it lah. But
Mm.
they actually don't know what suppose they want to achieve. Yeah.
so
More
they are not
unclear.
clear.
Yes, not clear.
Yeah. That's a bit.
I actually face a problem also. Yeah. Even though it's stated clearly in the paper, sometimes they set a KPI. There's even set in the paper or that. Even though the employee side of, but the employee still not clear on that
Oh.
because maybe just one way communications, but not both way. Just
Yeah.
manager
Yes.
set for them,
Yes.
but an employee just accept.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah. It happens a lot of times, right?
Yes,
So it's important to have a two-way communication and make sure that the employee can achieve those goals that has been set for them also, the KPI that's been set for them. If they can't, it's better to communicate about it earlier so that new goals, new KPIs can be, the KPI can be adjusted a little bit. That's workable, right?
yes. And I need to add in also, if not say that we set in the beginning of year, then we only review end of the year.
And
It's
yeah,
too
correct.
late sometime.
Hmm.
Maybe
Yeah. By the
we
time the
need to
person has been
monthly
doing the
review,
wrong thing 10 times round.
right? And then because no communications, so yeah, beginning of the month maybe it's okay, but no feedback until year end, everything not achieved.
Mm.
Mm,
Then company goals also suffer because of that.
yep.
The whole organization suffers. Ajit, you want to take the question from Anu?
We have question from Anu Prakash. How do you manage performance when sudden change takes place that affects set KPIs?
Okay, thank you for the questions, Anu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, sometime whatever KPI we set, sometime will be changed. Maybe some certain policies or certain like, for example, economy, yeah, changes or whatever, then we need to change. But I think importantly, when we set right, if let's say got changes, we not necessarily need to stick on that. Yeah, we actually can change, but we need to communicate earlier to the employee itself.
Mm. Okay. So
Yeah,
changes are okay. It's just
yeah,
about being
changes is
open,
yep,
about communicating it in advance. All
correct.
right. Thank you. There is another question. First, we say hi to Arina. Welcome, Arina. To
Arena, hi.
and then there is a question from Alia.
Well,
Performance management is usually linked to rewards, example bonuses, like we said just now. Company has budget, and usually employees are rated and spread through a bell curve. Yep, always. I know some companies are moving away from the bell curve already. Sometimes someone has to be the black sheep. Your thoughts on that, Sawai?
Of course, we talk about performance management. Everyone is talk about I have a KPI, so what will gain end of the day, correct or not? Bonus, yeah. Rewards, yes. Okay. Of course, what we want, especially currently, there are financials or that we work for money as well, yeah. And then of course, every company, I'm not so sure the structure, how is it? Yeah. Maybe some they their performance ratings, right? They already set a bell curve on that. Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes, yeah. So maybe maybe it's A, they already set, or B certain percentage, or C whatever. But I think it's important for the management, yeah, to how to say, to really transparent, and then make very clear decisions on that. Yeah. You know, sometimes, you know, biasness or whatever come in, yeah, it's very hard to how to say, sometimes will be occur this kind of things, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, so communications is very important to overcome this, yeah. So not only management side, but employee, we must to have say some things, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to have an
Mm-hmm.
open communications on that.
Mm, that's true. Ajit, you
yeah,
want to
maybe
take Nicole's question?
Nicole's there's a question from Nicole Tan. Do you think bell curve is still relevant? Isn't it a false ranking? What is your take?
Yeah, what's your take on that, Sawai?
Hmm.
On actually the bell curve is, I feel yes, it is a forced ranking. There is another format now, as I know, it's a metrics format, right? Yeah, but what's your thought on the bell curve? Is it a forced ranking in your opinion, Sawai?
So far I'm not facing, yeah, on this, yeah. So I mean, if let's say the employee really doing good, so we really need to rate properly. But if really not right, so we actually need to um, write it, yeah, write it accordingly. Yeah, it's not talk about false ranking, but so far I didn't. Yeah,
You don't experience this
I
before, lah.
experienced this before.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
maybe I can add on if
Ajit, maybe you can add.
yeah. Yeah, from my experience, I have used bell curve in many organizations. In every organization that I work, bell curve is definitely there, and bell curve brings to something like a force ranking, meaning as in I rank my employees from the top to the very bottom employees. Okay, now there's always been this controversial talk whether do we need bell curve or do not need bell curve? Does it help the organization or it doesn't help the organization? My answer would be it's all based on the type of organization that the industry that you are in. Some industries,
Mm,
honestly, bell curve really drives the business forward. Some industries, it doesn't really help the organization. To give you an example, if you are in a consulting or setup, if you're in a consulting setup, then bell curve, force ranking really drive the business forward. Give you an example, say if you have sales target, everybody should carry. So it really gives you a very clear target who is not achieving. So in that kind of environment, a bell curve is definitely needed. But if you're in a manufacturing environment where you have got 20 employees reporting to you, and the 20 employees are doing repetitive job on a daily basis, then you really have to think hard whether a bell curve would help you, because their job is to process, say for example, 50 units of outcome per day. Once they are done their job. So in that kind of setup, how would a bell curve push the productivity even forward? So it doesn't really serve or meet the needs. To me, bell curve is very subjective to the kind of industry that you need. But honestly, looking and asking around and mixing around with the other HR heads, bell curve is actually phasing out. It's no
mm,
more a popular tool to be used. It was one of the tools to drive performance, but it's becoming ancient now. Why? Because there is a very direct impact to morale of the employee. Employees get feared. Oh my God, bell curve. Oh my God, bell curve. Oh my God, there's force ranking. So companies forcing people are no. It's not like that anymore. So they are doing that away, and many companies are going with continuous feedback as a tool to manage bell curve. So to answer the question, is bell curve really needed? The answer is depending on the industry that you are in. Um, Again, I also heard a word there. Someone said, "Become a black sheep." Become a black sheep.
yeah.
By Alia, become black sheep. Again, black sheep is very much up to the managers. Why? Because whenever you put up a performance management, you can always put up strong justification. Why is Shireen rated low, or why is Sau Wai rated high? What are their achievements? If you have a group that have done really well, you can present that case to the management, and trust me, management will definitely not force you to rank someone when they have done a good job. So I think it's all in the communication and in the way you present your outcome of your department. I can go on talking about this, but let's go back to Sau Wai now.
I know, but that's a pretty good answer from both of you, Ajit and Sau Wai. I think they deserve thumbs up and hearts, lah. Please give it to them, lah. Um, yeah, that was a good one. In fact, Anu also says a lot of Gen Zs feel the bell curve is obsolete already, which is really true.
Yeah,
A
True.
lot of clients tell me that too. So yeah,
yeah, it's not so relevant.
unfortunately, yeah. Sawai, how does performance management affect employee satisfaction and morale? Like you all were talking more about, if it's the black sheep, of course their motivation will go down.
Mm-hmm.
Unless if it's explained clearly, then feedback is given. They know what they need to improve. Unlike just assuming these are the goals, these are the KPI, just do it, and there's no communication, there's no feedback. So how does performance management affect employee satisfaction?
When you have a clear directions, clear objective, I think the employee will feel value. Yeah, they will feel added value in their job. Of course, they will create the positive environments as well. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So they're happy. Of course, if they're happy, productivity may be increased. Agree?
Agree.
Agreed. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. I think you are on for another question. We have got no questions from the audience as of now yet. Come on, bring it
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
Yes, come
so
on. We are
let's
waiting for more questions. Yeah. Okay. My next question, Sawai. What role does technology play in modern performance management?
Think
mm,
depends on the company because I believe a lot of company they already have their software, their HR software. Yeah, I'm not so sure some organization, but some organizations is using manual as well. Yeah, some got software and some got their HR system to track their KPI itself. Yeah.
mm.
Okay.
When you say manual, I'm just curious. How's the manual done?
Manual
Is that,
or
or
Excel,
is it,
Excel,
key
type.
in their manual, key in their KPIs, yeah. So after that, they sit down one to one to review, then maybe quarterly review, or yeah,
Don't forget printing, reviewing,
print,
signing, and filing.
signing, agree, all that. Yep.
okay,
Some
that's a
manual,
long process.
yeah,
But in the
long.
digital, the technology part also, I mean, the reviewing, the interview part is still there where you have your conversations with your employees, right?
Yes, correct.
It's just everything
Yes.
is much faster because you can approve it and auto filing and stuff like
Correct.
that.
Even though have the system, right? So for example, employee or manager, they set their KPI itself. Now maybe is system is you will receive an email, yeah, in the system, the manager key in their KPIs, whatever, then they will return back to the employee itself. So employee also need to agree on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If let's
Yeah.
say maybe through maybe they manager and employee, maybe they will skip, they do not have physical communications
Mm.
because
Yeah.
the email just routing. Yeah. So manager set KPI, employee receive tick. After that, so route back to manager to agree. Maybe they put their comments and then route back to the employee. They just sign on that. So no physical communications.
Ah,
It's-
yep, yep.
I suddenly feel so sad.
Set. Correct.
Like where's the people touch in the HR when when it
Correct.
goes so robotic, right?
Correct. That's
Yeah.
why it's like we need to set a time, yeah, to actually
Mm,
even though you have system, but we
mhm.
also like need to face to discuss. Maybe easier to put in a system to track for us.
Ah, correct. Ajit, do you agree on that? Also?
Yeah, that's very much. I think what Sawai said was precisely correct. You know, you system is there to help, but we need people to
Mm,
intervene. That's where HR comes in. We set the
Yeah,
rules, we set the guidelines, we set the timetable, we force it down that people must communicate because you know system alone would not really drive performance forward. So human interaction, nothing beats human interaction when it comes to managing performance. You give them the right feedback, they would run really fast for you.
mm,
We have
of
another
course.
comment from how to make sure performance management is done well by all HODs, meaning how to maintain a standard. Sawai, over to you.
For my experience, for HR, normally we will make sure the KPI as a HR, we also need to run through their KPI itself because sometimes HOD they will set unclear goals. Yeah. So they simply just set for their employee sometimes. So we maybe we'll assist them to review, make sure the HOD will follow the guide itself. Yeah.
all right. You know
Mm.
what? I didn't realize we've been talking and talking, and we're 10 minutes to the end of the show. So I'm going to ask the next question. This is something I've always been curious on. Because previously it used to be once a year, but now things have changed. How often should performance management be done in your view?
Mid year and year end, twice a year.
Okay. How about those lift reviews? You know, you meet your colleague at the toilet or at the, I mean, your staff at the toilet or at the lift. How about those mini reviews, mini
Minutes
feedback?
review.
What do you think of those? I mean, we do training, and I had a client who told me
Yeah,
that we want to embed that giving feedback is not just once a year. We want to
correct.
make sure that even at the lift or at the toilet or at the pantry, if you need to give a feedback, you give a feedback. You know, what's your thought on that? Actually, both of you, Sau Wai and Ajit, what's your thought on that?
I think just feedback accordingly. No need to wait for a year or mid-year. Yeah, it's the way
Uh,
Yeah, for
feedback,
me,
right? Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's right. I think you can't avoid that in an organization because everybody's very busy. You can't really sit down, and I think two times a year is also something that is like old school thought. No?
Mm,
The message that I will drum in any organization would be that it need to be done as often as possible, as regular as possible, and as simultaneous as possible. It can even be a short discussion in the lift, a lift conversation, a lift pitching, yes, no problem. But there must be some. It cannot be 100% done using uncasual feedback. There must be days where you need to do casual, so there must be a mix of things. Then it's fine, no problem. Because feedback cannot be kept too long. If today I want to tell Shireen that she's not meeting her target, it needs to be done today, not 6 months down the road, because then by then it doesn't serve a purpose. So
yeah, for
I
what's
think
happening.
some kind of feedback need to be done immediate, consistent, on the spot, direct. Some feedback need to sit down and talk about it. When we talk about career development, what's your next phase, how you want to grow in the organization, then that definitely requires a sit down discussion. But regular feedback need to be ongoing. The more you do it, the more you talk, the more you communicate, the better performance management will improve in the organization.
yes.
Mm. Well, there you
Especially
go,
for
guys.
project, right? So we
Mhm.
can't wait until like quarterly, whatever. So maybe it's monthly or maybe 2 weeks times. Then we need to review how the progress of the project itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. See, we all learn new things every day. Maybe not so
We
new,
have
but
another question.
important. Yeah, there's another
Shirin,
question
we are
from
running short of time. We have another question. LinkedIn user.
yeah,
LinkedIn user.
Pravina. Actually, I was
Yeah.
just playing with my going on my phone to see. Let me read it from here. What is your take on having company values assessed as part of a performance review on top of competencies and goals? What will be the ideal weightage of or percentage distribution between values, competencies, and goals? Your KPIs.
I believe the KPI, you have the priority KPI. So you put in the weightage itself. Yeah. Cannot be everything. For example, you have set 5 KPI. Cannot be everything also. You set 20%, 20%, so to make it 100%, right? So you sure have certain that you are top priority. So you need to set the top priority with better. That means higher percentage on that. For example, sales revenue. So their higher percentage is what to make revenue, but maybe engagements or whatever, maybe it's not their priority, so you will be your percentage will be lower. Yep.
Okay, very tricky. Anu says very tricky. Ajit, you want to
Okay,
add
I
to
think yeah, I think for me, if you would ask me, I would keep KPI as KPI. I would put my 100% on KPI because KPI always business needs. We are in the business. The business is there because there's a need. So we cannot say we're going to discount KPIs. But what I would do is I would put values and our competencies as a different assessment, maybe two different portion. And you have 100% KPIs and you have put 100% on this. Then this portion becomes a modifier to your performance, to your KPI. So it's always support. Your values and your competencies will be a support to your KPIs. Giving you an example, say if you have not really met your KPIs 100%, you didn't meet your target, you didn't do anything, but then your behavior is fantastic and your competency is great and all that, you can't then to be very fair to the organization, you can't then reward this person excellent. That's not going to be right. So for me, I think because of that, then you moderate. Maybe the person becomes a normal achiever, and a normal achiever, And likewise, if the person is fantastic in his results, but then when it comes to the competency and the behavior, is so sour, doesn't even support anybody, and it's becoming like a problem to the organization. Then you're not going to call him a best performer because he's not living your values. Then you bring him to a moderate. He get a moderate. So I think it's playing between these two, but the other portion, your competency and the values becomes a modifier. It supports the person to move up or down with their KPIs. But KPIs will definitely be number one, like what Sau Wai has mentioned. It should always be measured as number one.
All right.
Serene,
I
we
hope
are
that
5 minutes.
I know. I know both your answers have really answered Pravina's question. Really, really in-depth answers you all have given her. Yeah, we're running out of time. I just have one last quick question.
Last question.
Quick Sau Wai's brain before we go to the closing. Any last tips for companies looking to improve their performance management system, Sau Wai? Any advice you can give them? Sau Wai, are you on mute suddenly?
Mute, yeah. We can't hear you.
Suddenly, I think I don't know how to elevate. I don't know how to evaluate values like honesty. Very subjective. You want to undo your headphones? Yeah, I think it's working now.
Is it okay?
Yeah, can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Your last piece of advice for our
I
audience.
believe majority of the company already have the software, to monitor the performance management. Yeah. I think whatever goes, the company said, then we must be transparent to the employee itself. Yeah. So whatever we need to do, then make sure everyone is clear on that and follow accordingly. Yeah. That is very important, because we can say anything we want to. We have the good system, we need to follow. But if let's say everyone is not follow and no one feedback and communications, then entire process will be failed.
All right.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that last piece of advice. And Anu says your headphones went on auto mute.
Auto
When
mute.
time is almost up. So we just have 2 more minutes. Ajit, let's move on to the closing already.
Yeah, we have approached to the end of our session for the day. We would like to thank Sau Wai for such an insightful session, and most of all, to have this serious discussion with us today. Looking at everyone else with their questions, thank you so much. Before we end the session, there is a way, and any way that the audience can get in touch with you, Sau Wai. And should they have any further questions, if they want to have a further discussion with you, is there any way?
You can find me at LinkedIn. Yes.
Okay.
That will be
good.
Link is here, right? Yeah. My LinkedIn account, or just text me.
Okay, and thank you very much again for joining us. And to the audience, we would like to thank you, to everybody who have participated, and for your wonderful questions. For those we are not able to answer, we are sorry. You can always link us back and we can it up further. And we've never have this. We'll be back again with season 3, episode 7, HRTV soon. And until then, catch up with you all soon. Sherin, over to you.
Yeah, catch up with you all on our social media pages. And anyway, if you're a HR and L&D manager who are planning to do trainings, whether it's a soft skill, Microsoft Office trainings, or team buildings, drop me an email, or you can connect to me on LinkedIn at Sherin Kelly. Before we end, we would like to wish all of you a wonderful week ahead, and we look forward to seeing all of you. Once again, thank you so much for watching HR Intervention. Serious discussions only. Bye.
Bye.